On this episode of Geek Show, we say goodbye to a Batman. We got lots of Star Wars news. We got the DC 10-year plan, lots more. What difference does it make? Should I stay or should I go? Are we human or are we dancers? All that and more on this episode of Geek Show.
Geek Show, Geek Show, Geek Show!
geekshowpodcast.com.
Did I do it right?
Great success.
That was great.
Push the button, Frank. He did it right. He's Lee George Cade.
Oh, boy.
Good for you, son. Good for you.
So, let me tell you something. I didn't quite win dump ball last Saturday, but I got an almost personal best. If I had only thrown that chair another 4 feet, I would have won dump ball. But I'm going to try
two
again.
weeks in a row going to the dump, Lee.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. Have you ever heard the thing? You know all about death metal, right? It was Swedish death metal, where you scream about God and stuff, and then you burn a church. Well, I've been doing Swedish death cleaning, where I scream about God and clean my house and go to the dump.
I need to do that too.
It's all the rage. You read it. You read it in my new book that I'm publishing on Instagram. It's called "How to Scream at God."
They call me Dump Boy.
No, that's a prequel book. I haven't written it yet. I'm gonna write it in 30 years. It's gonna be about me as a little boy when they found me in the dump. Anyway, so it's because I'm writing this book, and I'm self-publishing it on Instagram right now. So all you have to do is go to Grimley's on Instagram. Chapter 7 should be up right now, called "Oh Shit, I Hit That Seagull." It's pretty good.
I'm not a proud man.
Not proud, man.
My family found me in a dump.
My mom was like, "Hey, Turner, let's look at so it's inside that fridge there. Shit, it's a baby." It's ours now.
If you need a title for your new book, he's got plenty of them. He's Shannon Burnson, everybody.
Oh, man, that's... Yeah, that's the truth, ain't it?
They call me Dump Boy.
Well, it's taken now.
I met a mutant. I know a mutant, you guys. Like an actual mutant with superpowers.
That's amazing.
One of the kids in my class that I work with right now, and he's got the powers like the Vision, where he can increase the density of his body. And if he doesn't want to go to the bus, you can't pick him up.
Isn't that something all kids do?
No, not like this guy. He just goes, no. And he's got like this harness thing. And there was 2 of us, and we're just like, how can we not pick this guy up?
How's he doing this?
And so,
All right.
I want to meet a mutant someday.
Oh, they're mean.
All right. Plug.
You guys, the pub quiz went fantastic this week. Saw a lot of old faces and new faces, and starting this week, new feature in the pub quiz. At the end of the quiz, where I'm introducing something called "One Question to Rule Them All."
Oh,
kind of
I'll win. I know all this. I know all Lord of the Rings
it's
answers.
it's kind of a Final Jeopardy kind of question.
Oh, I see. I see.
So I'm pretty excited. Me and Brian are pretty excited about it because it's nefarious, and also the bar staff at Lucky 13. I mean, God, at Keys on Main has won 3 weeks in a row. And they're online, and they've turned into like a bad guy faction in wrestling, and they're just like, we love stomping nerds.
Ooh,
yeah, and so they're heels, and
that's a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, so we need some more people to come in and stomp
and beat the bar
them.
staff. Yeah. Okay,
So.
That's at Keys on Main.
Yeah.
According to the chat room, her hair is on point. She's Rebecca Frost.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes.
As soon as we hit the go live button, my cat knocked over the trash can, and now there's trash all over my office that he is dragging around. And he's also moved a piece of tape right under the tripod where my camera is. So, intentionally trying to sabotage this for me. You can follow me on the sinking Titanic of Twitter at Gross Rebecca.
It's going down too fast to be done.
It's
the Titanic.
something
It's the
something
Challenger.
Beautiful.
It's-
It's so
it's-
beautiful.
It's the Space Shuttle Challenger.
I
Elon's
love
not.
Nice.
We're not trapped in there with Elon. Elon is trapped in there with us.
That's
I
what he
love
learned
that
this
all-
week.
He
Yeah.
had no
I love that
idea.
all you need for a blue check now is $8, and they won't.
Oh, they
check
took
to
it
see if
away.
that name's-
No, they took
Oh,
it
they,
away.
no, they killed that
actually killed
because
that.
somebody bought
George
Somebody-
W. Bush
somebody,
is-
I've been
somebody,
watching.
somebody said that they were Delta Airlines and bought a blue check and has been doing DM like customer service and getting people's credit card numbers and shit.
Oh my.
It also cost Eli Lilly like billions in the stock market.
And
Eli
Lockheed
Lilly,
Martin
congrat-
too.
Congratulations, penicillin or insulin's free now.
Well, and
exactly.
then, so Bernie tweeted about that and saying, "Yeah, this is insane. Why is insulin so expensive?" And then Elon came in and tried to fact correct him. But
Excuse
then there
me.
was a little note hoisted by his own petard that said, "Actually, no, Elon. This is here. Fact checked Elon Musk." And so Elon had to go back and delete the tweet because he's a baby.
All right. He was part of the diving team that found the wing of the Challenger. He's Jay Whitaker, everybody.
Whoa.
What?
Wow, good
No,
work,
Yeah,
Jay.
you know what?
Made that up,
Sure,
right?
I'll take it. My mother cried a lot that day.
So did so did my whole elementary school as we watched it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Jay Whitaker on socials. Just hit me up there. Thanks.
have
Hey,
any
and don't be
gigs
racist.
coming up?
Hey, do me a favor. Don't be racist in my DMs. That'd be really appreciated. Thank you.
It's not too much to ask.
God,
is
that's a lot to ask in these days.
it? Quad T, Too Tall Tony.
Hey,
How you doing, Tony?
I'm pretty good.
All right.
I'm on Twitter still, just watching it burn.
Yep.
To quote Dido, "We will go down with this ship."
Well, yeah, and I tweeted.
Oh, that's the words?
If you've been watching Elon's tweets, about 5 times a day, he'll say, "Oh man, user count is up so much. Oh, all this blah blah blah." He sounds like, I tweeted this. He sounds like the kid at a birthday party that all the parents made their kids go to.
Yeah.
And he's trying to convince the other kids, "Look how much fun we're having. It's great in here, isn't it?"
Nothing's effed here, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing's effed here.
He's pulling the Trump. People are saying, and I am hearing it's the greatest ever. All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't forget about our host, Mr. Kerry Jackson.
Bow, bow, bow,
very
bow.
much.
Oh wait, I have that. Just
I like
doesn't
doing
work
it.
very good.
I like doing it with my voice.
Our chat claims that your mic is low, Tony. I don't know if I believe them or not.
It is a little bit. It is a little bit.
How about
Yeah,
that?
turn-
Better?
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com in the mornings.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he gives me the creeps every morning, as I was telling him.
Oh, that's not
Frank-
me. That's Frank Chris.
Frank Chris, man, that guy, he gives me the creeps.
That's not
Yes.
me.
I was just thinking, you guys brought up the Challenger. I was just thinking, I remember standing up when that happened, and I poured out a shot, and I was like, "All right, to the brave astronauts, the Challenger." And my teacher was like, "Sir, you're in 9th grade."
Yeah.
And so,
I was unemployed and in my first wife's basement, the parents' basement, when that happened. I remember watching that. Anyway.
wow.
All right.
Sit there next to Frank, and Frank's just going, "Oh."
All right. Real quick before we get started, movie night next week. Not movie night. Saturday matinee.
I'm looking forward to this.
Geek Show Saturday matinee. Already huge response for Hot Rod.
I'm Rebecca, and I like to party.
I'm Rebecca, and I like to party.
I hate that I love that movie.
I've never seen it, and I'm getting messages from people I haven't
Lee.
talked to in 20 years. They're like, "I can't believe you're playing the greatest comedy of all time." And I'm
Lee,
like,
it's pretty damn funny.
Yeah, like it's
so over the top, goofy. I love
and
it.
Ian McShane just steals that whole movie.
He does. Oh man.
He just
Well,
he
If you
just
ever had any
he-
question about his comedy chops, watch
Yeah.
this movie.
He chews up the scenery and spits it all over the place.
So
it's
good.
just amazing.
But there's a bit in there, Lee, because you're a former radio guy. There's a bit in there with an AM radio host. And it's Chris Parnell. He's in the movie for just a minute or two, but his speech is just perfect.
And once again, Chris Parnell is one of those people that could just show up in a thing for a second, and you're like, that guy's a goddamn genius.
Well, I'll tell you,
know?
when the kids table picked this movie, I was like, I don't know, but boy, the response I'm getting from people,
It's been great.
It's
I
going
guess
to
we're
be
just
great.
gonna let the kids table pick every time.
Oh, this is
Okay,
my
well
whole.
maybe next time you guys throw out more suggestions.
Oh, I did. I threw out one, but
Well-
nobody wanted to watch my old timey shows from the
I-
1910s.
and I
We'll get there. We'll get there.
and I threw out one too because Thanksgiving. I thought eating people. You know,
Well, yeah.
Cannibal the musical.
Oh, a
Utah
good
Ties.
suggestion. But I literally tossed a coin between those two, and it came up Hot Rod.
Ooh, yeah.
so
My next
keep your
suggestion,
list, though.
My next suggestion is going to be Days of Thunder. So I hope you guys are ready for that.
Keep
Well,
your,
no,
keep,
no,
keep your lists.
No, I'm vetoing that as like one of the original OGs. No,
It is Hot Rod on the 19th at Broovies in downtown Salt Lake. The cost to get in is, once again, pay what you want. The doors will open at 11:30. We'll start the podcast promptly at noon, and then the movie after that, just before 1 o'clock. So Hot Rod on the 19th at Broovies.
I should pull up some of my air checks from when I did AM Country. If anybody really wants to hear that, I had to use a character named Cousin Leroy. I'd be like, smooth talk, classic country. This
I wanna
Cousin
tell-
Leroy.
I want to tell you the bit, but it will ruin it for you, so I won't.
This is
10:20
me raising my hand because I want to hear it.
10:20 a.m. KRNR.
that's Lee. When I worked at that fundraising place, what was it called? Public. Oh God, remember it was downtown, and all the punks worked there and reading everybody. We would
Sure.
call for nonprofits.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had a different voice for every thing. I'd like, "Hello, my name's Hank Pym, and I'm calling
yeah.
for public
You got-
interest."
you
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to.
it was
You
great.
got to.
All right, let's begin by. Ordinarily, we save these celebrity deaths till the end because it kind of bums people out, but this is a big one, so we decided to start the show with it. Raise a glass. Kevin Conroy.
Yep, he's right there.
Yep,
Over
Kevin
my
Conroy.
shoulder.
He defined, and I tried to explain to people who didn't know who he was. I tried to explain to him, this is, and Tony even said it. This is your Batman, Tony. You were. He was the Batman
Well-
for a generation of audiences.
Well,
not
and
two.
if you think about it, the animated series came out at the same time as the Keaton movies, right?
Around there, yeah.
Right around there, and
Yeah. It debuted
Everybody-
literally right after Batman Returns.
right, and so everybody going on from the animated series kind of apes his voice.
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
Diedrich
for sure.
Diedrich Bader is currently Batman, and he's just admitted.
But-
I'm just doing a Kevin Conroy.
Well, but so does Affleck.
Yeah.
You know, when he's in the cowl, so does.
But nobody does his Bruce Wayne, and I'm a little upset about it because he was the first one to say Bruce Wayne's swishy.
Yeah.
yeah.
He did such a great Bruce Wayne and Batman, and the cartoon ran for what, like
It was 92 to 96,
92 to 96, and
but
then
that was just the cartoon.
and then the
And then
Justice
he was
League.
everything.
Yeah,
And
then
then,
the Adventures of Batman and Robin, then Justice League
Yeah.
Unlimited.
Yep.
And he would show up occasionally for some of the movies that they
Batman
did-
Beyond.
Exactly.
I've got a list here: 60 different productions, 15 films, 400 episodes of television, as well as video games. He was always on the Comic-Con circuit because the fans couldn't get enough of him.
And I met him at one of those, and he was such a nice guy. He knew how lucky he was.
Yeah,
That's what I've
he,
heard. is
You know?
Everyone that has met him has just had nothing but nice things to say.
now he was only 66. I haven't heard a cause of death yet, but he's been struggling with his health for quite some time. I know
It was the cancer. I looked
It was
up.
the cancer.
Yeah, I
Okay.
found it.
He listen to this. He studied acting at Juilliard alongside Christopher Reeve. He was roommates with Robin Williams. He went on to do stage work and TV roles. He was on Dynasty, Tour of Duty, O'Hara. He also appeared on Search for Tomorrow, Another World. He did a guest spot on Cheers, Murphy Brown, Spencer for Hire, Matlock. And he was also in the CW Crisis of Infinite Earth playing Bruce Wayne.
That's right.
He was basically playing the same version of Bruce Wayne that you find in Kingdom Come. Mm-hmm. Very, very similar to that version of Bruce Wayne and Batman with
Yeah.
the exoskeleton and everything.
But so he was in that briefly, so you can go back and take a look at that. So, raising the glass to Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Now I didn't get a chance to watch this before we came on, but there've been on social media teasing between Lucasfilm and Studio Ghibli. And I was just like, what's going on? Then somebody tweeted a picture of Yoda, or was it Yoda, or was it Grogu? We don't know.
Grogu.
And it was mysterious for the longest time. We found out this morning what it's all about. Disney Plus is celebrating its 3rd birthday by giving you this short. It's called Zen, Grogu, and Dust Bunnies. And it's there now. It's hand-drawn, animated short from Studio Ghibli. Katsuya Kondo directed the project, and it is on your Disney Plus right now to celebrate the 3rd year of Disney Plus. So there you go.
Hey.
That
be right
is
back.
devastatingly cute.
So if you're a fan of Grogu or Studio Ghibli, I guess everybody wins. Speaking of Disney Plus, Indiana Jones 5 set to be the last time Harrison Ford dons his, hat and whip, and has already failed, apparently.
Yeah, I've read that this morning, that it's
Yeah.
a huge box office bomb.
So Variety is reporting that Lucasfilm and Disney are in early stages of floating a potential streaming series set in the world of Indiana Jones for Disney+. That's the only details that we have, but let's be honest. I know Harrison Ford said, after I'm done, it should end. I'm sorry,
Not so
Harry.
much, bud.
No, not if Disney's got an IP that people recognize. It's gonna continue. Sorry. But, of course, some of us older folks will remember this has been done before.
Yep.
Young Indiana Jones.
Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
And
One
it
episode.
was good, and it was good.
I think the really young Indiana Jones, I didn't care for him when he was like 10, but when they did the ones where he was in his late teens, I
And it
really,
was
really
River
dug
Phoenix.
those. It wasn't.
Not on the TV series, no.
No, not on the TV series. It was another guy who almost became Anakin. Like he was
Oh.
the number 2. I can't remember his
Yeah.
name, but he did a really great job, and they did some fun things with because he's a teenager in the 19-teens, so they did things with him like being in early Hollywood and being a stuntman, and then him being seduced by Mata Hari, and it was a fun show when he was a teenager. When he was young, you were just like, "Is this pod racing?"
This is pod racing.
This is pod racing. I have my pod racing NASCAR shirt on.
Oh, good for you. Anyway, so that's on your way. It'll be probably live action. Although, if you go online, you can see a fan has made an animated Indiana Jones short that's really good. And I think they ought to consider that. But anyway. All right. Disney Plus also confirmed the ensemble cast for the upcoming live-action Star Wars series, The Acolyte. And this is going to be interesting. Carrie-Anne Moss has joined. Daphne Keane from His Dark Materials.
Also, she's Little Logan, right?
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
yeah. I can't remember her name, but I remember she's
23
Mini
or
Logan.
something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
X23.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing in the Dark Material show.
Yeah, she's real good.
It's good stuff.
That's
All
a
right.
good show in general.
Yeah.
Rebecca Henderson from Inventing Anna. Dean Charles Chapman from 1917. Amanda Stenberg from The Hate You Give. And it also, of course, Lee Jung-jae from Squid Game. Charlie Barnett from Russian Doll. Manny Jacinto from Nine Perfect Strangers, and Jodie Turner-Smith from Queen and Slim. She's great.
Manny Jacinto,
And-
also from The Good Place.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's correct. So that's The Acolyte, a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. A former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they anticipated. They've just started shooting in the UK. So there you go. More Star Wars shows. for
I'll
your
watch
Disney
it.
Plus. Of course you will.
Yeah.
We'll all
Well,
watch it.
I'm
the
telling
big
you,
surprise here is I haven't watched Andor at all, so
I'm sorry, what?
You're killing me with this.
No,
Lee.
he's
You're
watched the
killing
first 6 episodes because he was on our.
oh yeah, I did watch the first 6. Yes.
I just gotta say, like I tweeted out not tweeted. I don't tweet. I'm not part of that shit show.
Hey,
But I'm like, it's Star Wars for grown-ups.
I really like it.
I love it. Like
I
these
love it.
the episodes. This second storyline that they're doing. My God, just
So good.
amazing.
And more Star Wars in development. You've got Sean Levy, who is behind Free Guy and Stranger Things and all that.
Star Wars
he-
at the museum.
He is putting together a feature for Lucasfilm. Now, what I think is happening here is that what Lucasfilm does is they throw money at creatives and say, make a Star Wars for us. Would you come up with an idea for a Star Wars for us? And then they bring it back to them, and then Disney goes, no, I don't think so.
They should stop announcing projects,
Yeah.
though.
I think so. Because I got all excited about that Rogue Squadron series.
Oh God, I wanted that so bad, and just like you could see she was so excited about it from
She
that
was.
teaser. You know?
She was into
like
it.
It was a personal love letter that she wanted to work on. And
Yeah.
I wonder if that Wonder Woman movie being so god awful is what torpedoed that.
It got torpedoed.
I
part of it.
don't blame her for that because I really think that had a lot to do with the script. But I mean, she's a good
Yeah, the
director.
script
She
was
makes some good
clunky.
movies. So
Yeah.
Well, but also could she have tanked that script?
no, I don't know. It's hard to say.
But anyway, he's currently working on the third Deadpool movie. So there you go. He's going to make a Star Wars.
My favorite. Speaking of the Deadpool movie, they've basically said that like Hugh Jackman is going to be his muscles are all going to be CGI because
He's too old.
He's too old to get into Wolverine shape.
No.
well, and he probably doesn't want to anymore.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
and I love
it's a little bit of both, is what I've read.
No.
I
Anyway.
skipped.
No, you're fine because that's the next story. We had the Doctor Who news last week about them going to Disney Plus.
This is the 8-bit version.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. Should look like a.
You haven't heard the Doctor Who theme until you've heard it on a Casio.
So I was a little confused by this, like, because I'm like Doctor Who, like I'll watch it if it's on, you know.
Well,
So I thought they just got the rights to the old shows, but it's being produced by Disney now.
they're helping out. That's the
Okay,
story.
all right.
Last week we just learned that Disney Plus would be carrying Doctor Who, but now I don't know if you got your latest issue of UK TV industry magazine broadcast.
Oh no, it takes a while to it usually gets here about 2 weeks late because they have
I-
to send it all the way from.
clunky.
I
title.
I subscribed for 5 years and I got a free phone.
It's
a plug-in phone.
My man Montag screens it for me before I get it. So
Oh, okay. The BBC's recent deal with Disney for granting them worldwide streaming rights to the series outside of the UK and Ireland could see Doctor Who's budget raise from its current approximate 1.1 million per episode,
What?
1.1 to 3.4 million per episode, depending.
Oh dear.
Where does that money go? It doesn't
it
go to
looks,
the production.
It does. The Whitaker episodes look pretty good.
But they're raising it to approximately 11.5 mil per episode.
What?
Come on now.
Now-
That's
okay,
like
now-
HBO money.
It's Disney Plus money.
What the?
Tony,
Yeah.
you need to quit squawking, man, because back in the day, the first, when
Oh, I know. I've watched some of the old episodes.
Okay,
they wouldn't even
okay.
spring for the premium plunger on the Daleks. It was the cheap plunger.
Oh, and that's why, we used to make fun of Doctor Who fans at
Well, yeah.
at the proto Comic Cons, right? Because it was like they carved this cave out of styrofoam, and it sounds like it.
Oh, I'm sure there were fan cosplays of Daleks that looked better than the TV versions back in those days.
This will be for when filming begins for the show's 14th season, starring Ncuti Gatwa as the 15th Doctor. So big money. You
I
get
hope
your
that
Disney.
doesn't-
No
I hope
whammies.
it doesn't take away from the camp of the show, because that's what I love about it. Is it's so campy.
It does, yeah. There's a flavor there that's its own, and it's good. Most of
Doctor
the time.
Who is getting that Disney money.
We have a modern precedent. Like Star Trek hasn't been any fun since it started looking good.
What?
Shut up, Lee.
He's just throwing blueberries.
The thing,
at
no,
us.
so as someone who is watching the Next Generation and has watched Strange New Worlds, the thing about Strange New Worlds is it made me feel things Whereas Next Generation is just like, ha, yay!
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
No, I was just thinking about what that set they had on one of the lots called Planet Hell, and you can tell every time they beam down to a planet, they're like, what part of that football field size concrete bunker that they used are they shooting at? Oh, fill it with tar, throw Tasha Yar in it. Oh, now
There
we need
you
to have
go.
a fight with rocks.
Yeah, I love it when they just put up a bunch of fake plants and call it good.
Somebody get some purple film on this. We need to make sure it looks like a different atmosphere. Yeah, there we go.
That's why I always loved the classic Star Trek, which was
Yeah.
had about the same budget as a Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh, we got some leftover Western set. Let's do a cowboy episode.
Oh no, you get the classic episode where the Gorn throws a rock like a boulder at Kirk and it bounces off of his back. And you're like, yeah!
Guys, I just watched the episode where they turned the holodeck into a Sherlock Holmes mystery.
Yeah.
And there was so much effort put into those sets versus literally any other set I've seen so far.
Well,
And
yeah, because they
also-
just used the set from Blackadder Christmas.
Well, that's your Paramount backlot. It's
But also, I don't think you guys understand. I would pay a hefty fee to see the costume closet on the Enterprise because they've got costumes for everything.
Yeah.
everything.
Well, no, they
can
just use a replicator.
Yeah, they just replicate the costume that they want.
Okay,
When
but
they're done,
then
they put it
what?
in
What
the
do you do when
recycler.
you're done with it? I'm sure they've got to
Recycler.
store it somewhere.
Yeah, eat it because it's made of poop,
Yeah.
just like the food.
I like Rebecca's idea that there's an actual costume
closet?
closet. I like
the,
that.
the costume closet is all of the in-betweens on the turbo lifts. Because if you've ever seen them open the turbo lifts, it's like some massive just chamber where the turbo lifts zoom around. That's where they put the clothes.
Canonically speaking, there is a reprocessor that you throw used materials into that actually strips it down to a
Canonically.
subatomic.
Canonically.
Like,
Well,
like
I actually
poop.
have real glasses to hold up.
All right. Let's see. Okay, let's get to DC.
Do we
James
have
Gunn's
to?
in charge. We do.
Hey, it's gonna get better, guys. It's gonna get
He's
better.
in charge
now.
this week.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Man, if this
on, guys.
sticks, if this
Come on.
sticks.
It's gonna get better.
Well, 1 week into their jobs leading DC's film, TV, and animation division, James Gunn and Peter Safran met with their new Warner Brothers Discovery cohorts at a virtual town hall with CEO David Zaslav.
Boo.
So this was a big kind of like Zoom call. And for months, he said he wanted leaders to help DC become more like Marvel, which, because it's the most successful film
Yeah,
franchise in history.
because it functions.
Yeah, and it functions. He said this was such an amazing opportunity to tell one great overarching story. This is what Safran said. This is James Gunn's partner. So he wants to tell one great overarching story, one big beautiful story across film, television, gaming, live action, and animation.
So they're bringing the Wonder Twins back?
God, I hope. Gunn noted that the two of them have begun work on a long-term plan for that story. He said, the opportunity to make DC as great as it can be and as it should be, that is the reason why I'm doing this job, because I know what Peter and I can do that. We spent the past couple of days with a group of some of the best thinkers in the industry, the best writers in the industry, starting to map out that 8 to 10 year plan of what it's going to look like in theater, TV, animation across the board for these characters. Now, here's the best part. During the town hall, James Gunn highlighted his love for the obscure, sharing his affinity for the Metal Men and
Yeah.
Batmite.
Yes! All right. Yeah.
So I think you're going to get some Batmite. He says, I love Superman, I love Batman, I love their interactions, I love the ways in which they're the same, in which they are completely different. You'll see more of them, but also the obscure.
I love all these stories too about how supposedly Dwayne Johnson's like, you gotta focus on Black Adam.
And James Gunn is like, well, maybe. We'll see.
No, not so much.
Well, did you? I can't remember. Did you guys talk about it last week? Where I think it was Zaslav was talking about bringing back franchises because they haven't had a Superman movie in 13 years, or a Harry Potter movie in 15, which is not true.
I'll give that to Zaslav as he realizes he's got the IP and we should use it. So
Yeah.
there's
But
that.
also, there was a Harry Potter movie this year, and a Man of Steel movie came out in 2013. He's throwing out numbers that are wrong.
All right. In response to fans asking him to bring back Legends of Tomorrow on Twitter, James Gunn stated that he's instead focusing on telling the biggest story ever told across all of these things. He says, "I opened up
Story of Jesus?
The Bible? Was what I was
Exactly.
gonna say.
He says, opened up Twitter at the end of a long creative weekend to see many tweets to save Legends of Tomorrow and release the Ayer cut and fan support for other DC projects over the years. The majority of these requests were enthusiastic and respectful. But he says he's got a big story that they want to tell.
Did you see afterwards? Like he starts getting threats from
Of course.
the Snyder bronies that are just
Of
like
course.
you better cater to us because we're the only reason anybody watches these
The
No.
bots,
Yeah,
the Snyder bots.
Snyder bronies.
And now keep in mind that this Penguin TV series is before the James Gunn 10-year plan. But it's getting ready to go. And we did get a timeline for it. It's set immediately after the end of the Batman and temporarily before the events of the second movie. So I got the timeline on that. I've been unable to find it until now. I thought it would be him coming up, but apparently not.
Well, I mean, it still kind of is because he's not nearly the kind of Penguin you see in the comics and things like that. He's like a high level henchman right now.
I hope they show the part where he becomes like Snake Mooney's assistant, and then he gets thrown off the pier, and then James Gordon's like, "I'm not a killer." Oh wait, that was Gotham.
Wait a minute.
I mean, there still could be flashbacks where we, go back.
Yeah.
But
See him growing up and whatnot.
So there you go. Let's see more casting news and project news. This Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse movie that is coming. They're going to include even more Spider-Men and Spider-Women and Spider-People. Spider-Punk.
My favorite.
Now, I've not read any Spider-Punk comics yet.
I just like his. I just like his character design. That's
So
it.
is there an actual line of Spider-Punk comics that I haven't read? I
He
thought
has-
he was
usually
just
has-
a character in the Spider-Verse saga.
Yeah.
But like
he's-
my favorite three are Spider UK, Spider Punk, and Spiders Man.
Yeah,
Like I
Spider
absolutely
UK is
love Spiders Man because it's a bunch of spiders that got smart and got into a spider suit.
Is this real or are you being Lee?
No, it's real.
Nobody knows. That's the best part.
Well, I mean, they did a version of that on Rick and Morty with that superhero team, Million Ants
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Million
Nope,
Ants
that's-
Man.
They were
And
talking
have
about
a
Spiders Man.
collapsing star.
It's but no, Spider-Punk is real. He's in the comics, and he is going to be voiced by Daniel Kaluuya.
Here's a miniature of Spider Punk.
Yeah, he's cool.
I can't see. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, he's got like spikes on the top of his.
He's got a denim
Mask.
vest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he has not been on screen yet. He's so this is the first time you'll see him on any sort of live
Awesome.
action kind of a thing. Well, animated in this case. He has a web shooting electric guitar. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's the other thing. He's got
sorry.
this awesome guitar.
Okay, I got to go to Dr. Volts and get me some Spider-Punk comics to do some research.
It's like it would be a pain to lug that around just to web swing.
Yeah, but you
The
can't.
wrist
you can't,
ones
like,
are so much more mobile.
Now you throw it on your back, you look super cool.
Yeah,
What's
you got
it
your
like?
denim vest.
Yeah.
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 Let's see. It continues the adventures of Miles Morales, who once again teams up with Gwen Stacy to save not just one universe of Spider People, but all of them. It will be released March 29th, 2024. So we still have a ways to go, but there you go.
I'm so excited because I love that first
It's super good.
animated
It's,
movie.
it
It's
could
so
be.
good.
It could be one of the best Spider-Man movies.
Oh,
I
it
think.
definitely
And
is one. of the
maybe
best.
one of the best animated movies of all time too.
Certainly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope they bring Silk in because that's an awkward story.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah.
will.
Oh yeah, Silk is tell it that
Super
with
awkward.
kids.
I just got her in my Candy Crush Marvel game.
Oh yeah.
So kids, here's a girl who was bit by the same spider who bit Peter Parker, but she was put in a bunker for 1,000 years, and when she came out, all she wanted to do was have sex with Peter Parker.
I better go to
What?
Dr. Volts and pick up some of those back issues.
That sounds
Oh,
like
'cause they
something.
got
They
they got
rebooted
the
her,
spider.
though.
They got the
Didn't
spider
they reboot her?
pheromones. I don't know. It was with
I feel
Spider-Man.
Was the reboot.
Spider-Man
Because
was
I feel like
dating
I
a
read
little.
the reboot comics.
Peter was
Okay.
dating a little person, and every time that she came home to check in on Peter, he was
remember
going at
that.
it with Silk. It's like, what? Now that.
I wonder. It probably changed her after the Spider-Verse stuff, because that was the reason why wasn't that the reason why the pheromones thing was happening? It was because of the Spider-Verse stuff and Moreland and everything. I can't remember.
I had no idea about
Googling
this
it.
shit.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
there's a
mean,
lot
I should
going
get that
on.
name Silk anyway.
This is Spider Silk.
Anyway, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
All right.
I need Peter Parker's dick.
All right. Gears of War.
Dun, dun.
Here's a TV
Pixels.
show that nobody asked for.
Well, you're getting
Yeah.
it. The first live-action movie adaptation of the franchise, and the second will be an adult animated series of Gears of War.
You say adult?
Yeah, that's what it says here.
Okay.
So this is the latest high-profile gaming adaptation that Netflix has jumped into.
The only thing that will make me interested in this is if Dave Bautista gets a role in it like he really wants.
Oh, does he want to be in it?
He
dresses up in
wants
the
to be
armor
it.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of smart to put him in there for
Okay, yeah.
fanfic. You know.
He's already built perfectly to be one of the characters from
Right.
Gears of War.
All
Wasn't
of the
he-
characters look like Dave Bautista's.
I thought wasn't he? Didn't he voice a character in one of them? Or
So he likes Gears of War so much and wants to be a part of it so badly that they added a character in the expansion pass for Gears of War 5 that was just him as
Really?
in Gears of War as a character for multiplayer and stuff like that. Yeah.
Imagine being that famous that you could call up a game company.
but can I say once again, it kills me that he's as famous as he is.
Yeah.
Because when he showed up in WWE, I was like, this guy's a chode.
What? Take that back.
Oh no, he's got a tattoo of a sun around his belly button.
Who doesn't?
Cool.
You want to see
Oh,
that?
it's gross.
That's
Tony's
cool.
got
That
one.
means he listened to Incubus when they first came out.
Exactly.
I've got.
I'm like,
the-
who is this swole Incubus fan? You know?
I've got the phases of the moon around my belly button, but one part of the moon just keeps getting bigger
No,
every year.
and actually, like, I kind of like it kills me. Like, so when The Rock first showed up in wrestling, I was like, this guy's pretty entertaining. You know, I'm like, I could do this. And so I'm not surprised he's as famous as he is. But Peacemaker, what's his face?
John Cena?
John Cena. You guys, when he first showed up, we called him Captain Underpants. Because his outfit and his gimmick was so stupid. It was tidy whities. And
Got to
I was
reprise
like,
his role in Peacemaker when he was dancing.
exactly. And James Gunn has said that was a callback to his WWE
That's
outfit.
hilarious.
Points for Jay for invoking Incubus. Thank you.
In outer space.
You don't hear
let's
about that
see.
very often anymore these days.
No, you don't. National Toy Hall of Fame announced its inductees. I know everyone else is talking about the Rock Hall of Fame this week, but by God, here on Geek Show, we stick with what's important.
Toys.
Toys.
I was thinking Dwayne Johnson. I was like, he has his own Hall of Fame. Who do they put
No.
in there?
Just him.
National
Every year.
Just him over again.
National Toy Hall of Fame. They have released their 3. See, they only do 3, where the Rock Hall of Fame does like 6 or 8. 3 a year, and the inductees: Light Bright.
I go in order that you sent them to me, sir.
Right.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
He-Man.
Yeah.
He-Man was first. So
Surprised he's not there already.
Please go in
honestly.
order. I have photos.
And
That is
if
an
you
amazing picture.
if you haven't watched the episode of the Toys That Made Us about He-Man, go watch that.
there's
'Cause,
a
wow,
there's a new
it's
one.
nuts.
There's a new one on AMC called The Toys That Made America, which is like just digging deeper into these things, which is where I learned about the origins of our next toy, Light Bright, which
Turn on
was
the magic of colored light.
which was
Light.
as
Bright, making
as
things
usual
alive.
in the old days, a woman invented it and the guy took credit for it.
It's like Monopoly.
Yeah, exactly.
And children.
Yeah, I was going to say, and giving birth.
No, Monopoly. Monopoly was literally an anti-capitalist game created to teach children the danger of being over-leveraged and borrowing too much. And
Yep.
some guy came along and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make a movie, I'll make a game about capitalism."
That's why I
The,
always lost at that game, because I was afraid of that. And
Yep.
so my bets were always so small on locations and such.
The third toy inducted this year is the classic spinning top, which has been
Wait,
around
what?
forever. Yeah.
Just
What?
the general top.
Like
Yeah.
thing that they invented in Egypt.
Yeah.
Next year, the ball.
Yeah.
It
Ball.
has-
Ball
I
in
think
the
the
cup.
ball's probably already in there.
The ball and cup was already inducted.
as
No,
the
not ball in a cup, just ball.
ball is in there already.
How about next year? Found a stick.
Well,
Where's
no, no.
Wheelin'? Is Wheelin' stick in there?
Yeah, that's Rebecca. I hate to correct you on this, but it's called Hoop and Stick.
all right.
Found a stick. It's
The
a
toy
gun.
of your youth. I'm sorry.
It's a gun. It's a sword.
Come on, they didn't have wheels when Lee was a kid.
No, but I was there when they named them.
That's right.
Lee just walk
That
around
was
going.
Lee's first job.
Lee just walk around with a stick going. I wish there was something round to roll.
The toy hall of the toy hall of fame says that they should have put the top in decades ago because it has more than 5,000 years of history behind it. The finalists this year, and hopefully they'll make it next year, are Bingo,
Too complicated. Too complicated.
Catan, Phase 10, that card game, and Racco, which is another card game.
What's Racco?
Racco
These
is
are all games played by people at senior center.
Yeah,
exactly.
there's yeah.
Also, Toy
Catan.
Lines.
I'm sorry, you're telling me seniors are playing Catan?
Besides the
Dude.
Some of the other toys that haven't made it yet, but will be like Briar Horses, Nerf, Pound Puppy, Spyro. Oh, these are already in. Briar Horses, Nerf, Pound Puppy, Spirograph, and the Pinata.
Wait a minute.
The Spirograph made it before the top.
Yeah, what? Come on.
I know, right?
That shit, yeah, I was about to say.
Spirograph was
Am I
popular from about 1992 to 1997.
Oh,
and
no,
I'll
I'm
tell
reading-
you what,
I'm
I
reading
saw
this
those
wrong.
commercials. I wanted it so bad.
I'm sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Those are the ones that didn't make it this year because of these three. So.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Wait, so the
Carrie, is the cardboard box in there yet?
Seriously,
should
that's
be.
more fun than a Spirograph.
Here's some of the others that are in there. Fisher
Avatar toys?
Fisher Price's Little People are in there.
Well, they belong there.
You
Especially
guys-
that shitty kid with the bad cap and the
Classic.
You guys, I
He's a
saw.
bad guy.
I read an article that no one should play with those old toys. Maybe use them as as decorations, because they are just full of toxic
Oh yeah,
chemicals.
the
believe it.
lead paint and everything.
Yeah.
Matchboxes, die-cast cars. They're in there. Anyway, so let's move on. Finally, this. Maybe James Cameron won't make 5 Avatar movies.
Oh God!
What?
not at the
Rated
rate he's
prom.
going.
Here's what he said.
yeah, I was
He's
just
like he's the George R.R. Martin of filmmakers right now.
Here's
Ooh, that's a
what he
low
said.
blow.
He's entertaining the possibility that Avatar might not be the monstrous smash that he thought it would be.
Oh,
Because all the fans died.
He says the market could be telling us we're done in 3 months, or we might be semi-done, meaning okay, let's complete the story and within movie 3 and not go on endlessly. It's just not profitable. So he's open to the idea.
Interesting.
I met somebody that's actually a huge Avatar fan and is very excited about this.
You know, you're
Mike
talking about Wall
Anderson?
again?
No, it's somebody I'm working with right now, and I just went, why?
I'm glad it's there for them. I mean, it gives my mom
Yeah.
something to look forward to. other than-
I saw the trailer when I went and saw a certain big movie this week, and it still was just like, oh, cool, they swim in this one.
All right. Let's find out what you consumed this week, and then we'll wrap things up. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. No one else wants
Right.
to. So this week I watched the entire first season of The Old Man. Oh. Man.
is that Jeff Bridges where he
Yeah.
talks like this?
Oh yeah. Does he always
yeah.
like stick his chin out when he talks, or is that just for this role?
Oh,
I can't
I've noticed it.
remember now.
I've noticed it from about Lebowski on. He started.
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
I was
this.
just curious. But that's a cool show. If you have any interest in a fun like spy thriller, revenge
Okay.
kind of a, it's real, and the fight scenes with the old man, really good.
Yes.
Highly recommend that show.
All right.
And then watch 2 movies this week. One is you guys ever watch Her with
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix? Okay, so this movie Jexy is her if everyone was stupid and the AI was a horny jerk. So so it's
Well, where do you find this?
it's on Netflix. It came out in
Okay.
2019, I guess, but it's got Adam Devine? How do you say
Oh,
it?
I remember seeing a trailer for this.
Oh my gosh. It's a romantic comedy, kind of mostly in name only, but the plot, who cares? Who cares about the plot? The jokes, though, are just so right up my alley. It is one of the funniest movies I've seen in a while. And I don't know, maybe you just have to have a weird Tony sense of humor, but I was rolling the whole time. Like, just to wet your whistle. The first scene when he gets this new phone with this new AI companion named Jexy, not Siri, not Alexa or any of those, Jexy, it does the setup of the phone through voice to text, right? So it asks you, "Hi, I'm Jexy. Let's help set up your phone. Do you want to accept the terms and conditions?" He just goes, "Yes." And she says, "Do you want to read them first?" No, I don't care about that. Stupid. And then it goes on to the next. Anyway, it's freaking funny. Check it out. Okay, and I finally saw Black Adam this week. I think maybe it's because my expectations were very low, but I liked it. I thought it was fun, honestly.
Okay, as a DC fan, give it to me.
As a DC fan, they take some liberties with the characters, as most movies do, but not in too terrible of a way, if you ask me. I always go into these thinking of it as a alternate universe story. It's going to be different than the comics, of course.
All right.
I would say I'd give it a 2.5 out of 4. I enjoyed it. There's some weird character inconsistencies, I think, with Black Adam himself as the movie goes.
And that's what I've heard, is that the worst character in the movie is Black Adam.
I wouldn't say that. I would say the kid is the worst character.
Oh,
in
no,
the
okay,
movie.
the second worst character.
Yeah.
The worst superhero in the movie.
I would agree, yeah.
All right.
And they just should have made his character, the way he talked and things, a little more consistent. Because it's like, okay, here's Black Adam. All of a sudden, it's like 2 phrases where he talks like Dwayne Johnson. And then he's back to being the Black Adam again. And anyway, but I liked it. I would say wait for streaming if you don't have a big DC love like I do. But if you do, yeah, go see it. I think it was fun.
Okay. Lee, would you take down the avatar pictures? I don't want people to think we're a fan page or something.
Oh no! I was about to put up some of my OnlyFans avatar pictures.
Oh,
So,
okay. Go
I
ahead.
was so engrossed in Tony's story that I forgot to take the picture down. My apologies.
Engrossed. I mean, bored.
You go next then, Lee.
Okay. This is gonna be amazing. You're gonna love this. Did I watch any Andor this week? No.
Oh.
Why? Because I'm broken inside and dead. Oh. But okay, so my favorite thing I'll save for last. But I watched season 6 of Lost. I watched the first 2 episodes of LAX, part 1 and part 2, and I've come to this conclusion: Ben Linus is actually the victim of the whole thing.
I'm telling you, Ben Linus.
He didn't want to kill
Linus was
Jacob.
he was just doing the whims of the island.
He's a victim of circumstance all along. And thank you for agreeing with me, dog. And then, so that was cool. And then I was like, oh shit! Now they're on these side things now, because they're like, there's the one reality where they did blow up the island and everybody. And Jack's like, oh, everybody's on the plane's fine except for Charlie because he almost died of heroin. And then, so stopped watching that because I won't. I had to watch a thing about stocks. So if you really want to have an entertaining time, invest $20 in Robinhood and then brag to Tony about how much money you made with your Disney fraction stocks that day.
Like
so
6 times a day. Tony, I'm
Every
up
day.
5
Tony.
cents. Tony, I'm down 8 cents. I
It's
don't
the
know what I'm gonna do.
it's the absolute best thing I've ever done with my life. Like every day I'll be like, oh, my Disney stock's up 13%. I made 28 cents today.
Next time you message me about being down, I'm just going to PayPal you whatever cents that it is you're down.
That's my retirement plan. So that was pretty cool. And then, okay, and I've been learning Nomad Sculpt because I want to actually do 3D sculpting, so I'll show you some pictures of that later on. Right now, everything looks like lumps with lumps on them. And then...
Hey, like me. Are you sculpting me?
Exactly. And then the best thing that I've experienced this week, I didn't watch it, but I observed it from the other room, is my wife and my youngest watched Barbarian, and based off of their screaming and their different exclamations and Rebecca's 42-minute play-by-play of Barbarian on Spooky Time Club, I knew exactly what was going on, but like it was amazing because I have not heard that much screaming and that much expletives and that much taking the Lord's name in vain in this house of God. It was amazing. So I highly recommend that you have your wife or your significant other and your youngest child watch Barbarian in the other room after listening to Rebecca's 42-minute play-by-play of the movie.
All right.
Yeah.
Wait. For context, like, because I want to watch it.
Yeah.
You know, I have no idea. My friends
Keep
told
it
me
that
do
way.
not look. Yeah, don't.
Yeah,
go
you
into
should
it.
watch. You should watch the movie if you're not gonna like have Kat and like a niece or nephew over to watch it in the other room. You should watch it without any context and then listen to Rebecca's 42
Okay.
minute
All right.
play-by-play.
Thank you
Yeah.
for that. Thank you for that.
Because that is actually one of the most deliriously entertaining.
I keep hearing that, bro.
It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it's incredible.
All right.
Yep.
Who's next?
I'll go
I'll
next.
go. Okay. Shit.
Or Jay, if you want to go.
Mine's real quick. I was out last week, but and I'll be honest, I've been sick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like shit right now. But it's good to see y'all. I was watching Drink Masters. I'm really enjoying that on Netflix. It's great. It's our Great British Baking Show.
Okay.
It
Question.
is the what's
Do
that?
they include energy drinks and Red Bull in their drink concoctions?
No, because that's just lame. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I'm not watching then.
No, they do have some mocktails in there, and
Oh,
so it's
really?
actually pretty. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And if you love the bartending process, and if you do miss Great British Baking Show, and you want to see Americans and Canadians kind of get along and be like supportive of one another, this is probably the show. They do not have energy drinks, at least so far that I've seen. I'm sorry, but it is, if you're into the science of bartending and cocktail mixology, this is a good show to watch. I finished Welcome to Wrexham. If you haven't been watching that is where Ryan Reynolds buys a soccer team with Rob McElhenney, and it's great. I did. I kind of miss watching soccer stuff because I started watching Welcome to Wrexham as a Ted Lasso holdover. So now I'm like, I need something for my soccer fix. So I've just been watching a ton of soccer documentaries on Netflix. Started with the Pele one. It's very good. And let's see. What else? Oh, Justice League's the Green Lantern one on HBO Max. I consumed that.
Oh, yeah. I watched that too. It's good.
It was good. It had a nice little turn.
I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it on Shannon's recommendation from last week.
Yeah, that was a nice little turn, and I was like, okay, we got a little Jon Stewart action, and it's got a nice little surprise. You can kind of see it coming, but it's fun, and that's really about it. I there's some other shit I was watching, but I've been in and out of a fucking coma. Excuse me.
All right. Rebecca.
So besides the downfall of Twitter, I finally caught up on Andor. I forgot.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
true.
a total
Oh, so you're saying it's good?
nut. Yeah, just
So good.
space political thriller, and I would die for the little droid B2 emo. And then I finally got to watch Don't Worry Darling because it's on HBO Max, and I was so disappointed.
I gathered
So
that
that's
from your
like-
tweets. You didn't seem very
Well, and-
happy about it.
I wanted to see it too, and I saw it was on there, but like everybody I know that's seen it was like, ugh.
So your typical story about, a happy couple in a town and something seems amiss. Now things are not as they seem. And so for the first hour, it's Florence Pugh experiencing weird stuff and going, that's weird, without progressing the story forward.
An
then-
hour?
Yeah, I paused the movie to go make tea, and I was only halfway through, and I shouted at the top of my lungs, how am I only halfway through this movie?
Jay, that's like when we went and saw that Transformers movie with Jimmy. And I looked at him, I was like, is this almost over? And he goes, no,
Don't
there's like an
remind me.
hour and a half.
I remember
And-
when the Dinobots showed up, and I didn't even care. I was so sad.
That is
No, like-
That is the truth.
wow.
I remember I was like, because Jimmy goes, Dinobots. I'm like, I don't care.
Oh,
I was so mad.
And then
And-
Jimmy threw up.
Aesthetically, everything about this movie should call to me, but the sets and the costumes and the hair, all unremarkable. The twist of the movie, though, I will admit, got me, and it made me like the movie 20% more.
so you
But
like
then-
it 20%?
Yeah, but then they took the
About me.
twist. They took the twist just another step too far and took me back to just like
Oh,
God for like this movie. Olivia Wilde throwing away her career over some mediocre dick, I'm sure. And then Shannon, you can talk about this
We've
more
all
than
thrown our
me.
career away over mediocre books.
Because I went to go see Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and it was a movie.
Oh, so sad for you.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, so I mean, Shannon, if you want to talk about it more, because I was bored. I'm sorry.
You guys gonna
Oh
do a
my
deep dive?
God! Well, it's so fun that you're dead inside.
Oh, you just made Jay leave.
he's gone.
Yeah, that's my
tell us
big
about it.
consume. So first of all, I went. Rebecca, I saw it in that crazy theater on Redwood Road that's got the 270. Like they show
The one,
stuff on the
the one
sides.
that I like, yeah, the Regal.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And also,
It's
they got
fun.
me. The Regal always gets me too because they do these promotions, right? Where you can get the cup and the the popcorn deal, and I got my Umbatu.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there we
They
go.
get a little action figure, and I made them search for Umbatu. I was like, "So who are the toys? Who are the toys that go on the top?" And they go, "There's a lady, and a lady, and a lady, and a Batu, and a lady." And I go, "Go find me Umbatu." Anyway,
M'Baku with a K.
M'Baku, sorry. Yeah, Rebecca, I can not disagree with you more about this movie.
And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
This is my completely non-spoiler review.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave
with
right
the
now.
greatest with the greatest respect, Tony, go fuck yourself. All right. Like it starts cry, and then the Marvel thing, and then cry and also wonderment at the at what's happening, the visuals, and then anger, fist shaking, cry, vengeance, cry, and just a lot of great laughs, and some great set pieces, and some great interpretations of characters I love. What they did with Namor was really, really cool. This is as close to a spoiler I will get.
Sherman.
He is not the king of Atlantis. They changed the name, which I thought was a really, really good idea, because so people didn't be like, oh, they're ripping off Aquaman.
They call it Atlanta now.
No,
it's Talocan.
It's Talocan,
And he's not ripping off Aquaman because he came before Aquaman.
right.
True.
It is true. He showed up in the
40s.
The 40s.
I come back.
And I said, Jay, I haven't said one goddamn thing about the movie. Okay.
You're good, Jay. You're good.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
I thought you'd already seen it, like you and Jay
I don't-
Washington talking.
I want no offense to anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I just don't want to hear anyone's opinions on it till I see it.
Yeah,
Well, I thought you'd already seen it.
Jay, I was legit afraid to share my opinion about it because I didn't want to upset you.
Yeah, you guys, I loved it. It is over 3 hours. It did not feel like 3 hours to me, and I will save you from this. There is no after credit scene. There's a mid credit scene.
One mid-credit, yep.
There's a mid credit. So once that's over, and once you're done crying from that, just go.
Yeah.
So I loved it. Once again, Ryan Coogler, my God, just
Amazing.
He
All right.
like visually amazing. So
Okay. Real quickly.
and it's Gallagher. I gotta say it. I'm the only one. Sorry, bye Gallagher. You made me laugh really hard when I was 7. And
When I was 7.
and it's the truth, Carrie. Like he was on HBO all the time, right?
He was. And we laughed when we were kids, but then we found out he was a racist and a bigot, so
Yeah, and also
bye,
but,
Gallagher.
speaking of
I didn't know
racists and bigots, back when Dennis Miller was funny, he had a routine about stupid people, and the big payoff was, "Don't get no melon squishings on me, Mr. Gallagher," which always made me laugh.
In my brief stint in radio, I did several hundred interviews.
I've interviewed hundreds of people in my lifetime. Gallagher is my only bad interview.
I have yet to speak to anybody who has interviewed him that had a good time.
Yeah, he was just an
Yes.
ass from beginning to end.
The
From
sound of
beginning
the
to end.
watermelon squishing doesn't come through the phone very well, or
No,
No, he was in my studio. We
no,
could
he
have
just, he's one of those people that is not only he's smarter than you are, he's going to show you he's smarter than you
Yeah,
are.
like
And,
I mean,
and also very
the three-
ashamed of how he became famous.
the 4 words, and I don't use these words lightly. Miserable son of a bitch.
Yeah.
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
basically.
basically it. Yeah.
All right. Real quick here. Andor is the greatest Star Wars. Thank you. Disney Plus Director by Night is it's not only a making of Werewolf by Night, but it's also more of a biography documentary of the director of Michael.
That's what I've heard, and that's
Yeah.
why I really want to watch. I haven't watched it yet because it's an hour, and I don't have like, a
he's
spare hour.
he's one of us. He grew up making Super 8 movies and wanting to be in this business and all of that. He's one of us.
Theme to Lost.
Exactly. Inside Man with Stanley Tucci and one of the Doctor Who's
Tenet.
it's only Tenet. It's only 4 episodes. Worth it.
What's it about?
It's about Stanley Tucci is a criminal mastermind, and
It's always been. He stole my heart. Shit.
he's in
David Tennant's a priest.
yeah, and he's Tucci's in jail, and people come to him and say, "Help me solve the case that hasn't been solved."
Nice.
And Tucci is able to within 2 minutes go, "Well, here you go."
Tucci gang.
He's good. Also, Star Trek Prodigy is back, and it's quite good. I finished A Friend of the Family on Peacock. There are stupid parents out there, but
Yeah, there
but
are, Gary.
the greatest thing that I saw this week was the next 2-season finale of Interview with the Vampire. I'm just going to say all good performances all the way around, but Eric Bogosian is the guy who's holding that thing together. He is the glue.
I could not agree with you more.
He's so good in that role, just
Just
absolutely
a good.
perfect.
It's just a good show. So good all
Yeah,
around.
and he's like us. He's watching this whole thing through our eyes.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
our
that's why.
avatar.
Exactly. Games.
We got games. Let's see. Coming out this. I actually had it pulled up today, so pat myself on the back there. Okay. Goat Simulator 3 comes out this week.
That is a real game.
There was no Goat Simulator 2, in case you're asking. There was only Goat Simulator 1, and now
Heck
there's
yeah.
Goat Simulator 3.
Well, how does that work?
Skip to the
don't
good
know.
stuff.
That's right. Let's see. For some reason, I have no idea why this is happening, but Smurfs is getting a Smurfs kart game on Switch. So if you're
Well, then somebody owns that IP.
someone owns the
Smurfs
IP
kart?
and feels like they can make a little money, they're putting out a go-kart game. I'm looking forward to the launch of Call of Duty Warzone 2.0. They're redoing the Battle Royale game for Call of Duty to the newest engine and a new city and stuff to play in. I think that'll probably be pretty cool if it's anything like the first one. I wasn't a big fan of the Pacific version one where they were on an island. I thought it was kind of dumb. But anyway, that's beside the point. We got a new game from the Dark Pictures Anthology. If you like your spooky time games, this one's called the Dark Pictures Anthology, The Devil in Me. So there you go, if you like your spooky time games. And then on PC, we're finally getting the Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales game, which on PlayStation was just phenomenal.
Oh, it's
So
fun to
fun.
play.
So
It's
good.
it's one of the only games I've ever actually finished.
Oh, you finished
yeah?
Miles Morales? Yeah.
Oh yeah, forever ago.
It's a good
good.
one. Highly recommend. If you haven't played on the PlayStation and you got a PC that you game on, pick that up. You're going to have a blast with it.
Like that.
And
Thank you,
then
Tom.
new Pokemon this week. Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet come out this
Awesome.
week. So
I
if
liked
you're
the
on-
last Pokemon game.
Yeah, and I think this one's supposed to be kind of more of a switch, a mashup between the Pokemon Arceus and the old style Pokemon, or the one before that on Switch. So it's kind of more open world, but still there's more direction than Arceus. Anyway, read reviews. If you like Pokemon games, you'll probably like this one, but check the reviews out on all of these, in my opinion, before you spend any money on them. Jake.
Yes.
Real quick. Isn't like Pokemon done now? Didn't he like win
Oh,
it?
so, I guess of the cartoon today, or this week.
Yeah,
Ash
he did it.
became the #1 trainer in the world in their cartoon. So
So he did it.
he is
Yeah,
now the very best.
25 years.
Like
He
no
caught
one
'em
ever
all?
was.
It's the lesson to you.
He won the big tourney.
Did he
You
catch
commit
'em all?
yourself to something every day for 25 years, and you too could maybe be the best in the world.
Better get started.
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
he will
his-
take on a young Padawan and teach them.
And I'm sorry. I one last thing before we close up. I forgot to say this yesterday, Tony, and I'm really sorry. Close of business. My Disney stock was up 48 cents
Oh
yesterday.
my God.
Oh, man.
Well, that's great to hear, Lee. Go buy yourself half a candy bar.
I'm gonna get verified and create a Disney Plus account and
Screw with people.
And start messing
tweet
with
out
Lee.
stock advice.
All right, Mr. B, if you would, please.
Ham. Raise a glass to Mr. Conroy.
Weird
That was
music
a
choice.
transition from the meanwhile at the Hall of Justice.
It was handy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Worked out well.
I want to make a verified Disney Plus account, but tweet as the frozen head of Walt Disney.
Do it, Queen.
That would be so funny.
Nice.
If only I could buy a verification check mark.
Well, to throw this out really quick, make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far
Yes.
into the program. We really appreciate all of your support. You complete us.
And don't forget to come and see us next week on the 19th at Broovies at doors at 11:30. Movies. The podcast starts at noon, and then the movie starts right after we're done. Hot Rod is the movie. Got to be 21 or older to go see that. Pay what you want.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool beans.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Take